winter storm continues to cripple the South, covering Dallas in dangerous sheets of ice. Some stuck drivers had to use muscle power to get their cars back on the move.
I need formula for my newborn, so I have a little bit left, but just in case the roads are bad tomorrow again, I wanted to get some more.
Ice weighing down trees and branches, leaving yards and streets littered with broken limbs and downed lines. Widespread power outages leaving more than 300,000 people in the dark. At Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, 75% of flights are canceled, despite the headaches.
Oh my God!
Some are having fun, turning roads into rinks, skating down streets, and playing with...
The United States are without power as an intense winter storm sweeps across the country. Temperatures in some areas are predicted to drop to as low as minus 45 degrees Celsius. At least 12 people are known to have died. Bitterly cold temperatures, icy winds and blizzards have triggered road accidents, mass power cuts and thousands of flight cancellations. Tom Brada reports.
Once in a generation weather at the worst possible time. Ice, wind, rain and extreme cold are wreaking havoc in the build-up to Christmas. Trees have been ripped from the ground and power lines have been knocked out across the country.
It is very frustrating because we pay our electric bills to Encore and all day has been going in and out. I'm really glad that I have a fireplace because otherwise I'd be freezing right now.
Forecasters warn that in some places temperatures could drop to below minus 50 degrees Celsius. America's East Coast is facing another threat, flooding. In New York, rain and strong winds have pushed seawater to shore, leaving cars and homes underwater.
We've had ice, flooding, snow, freezing temperatures, and everything that Mother Nature could wallop at us this weekend.
Travel conditions are treacherous, and airports are struggling during one of the busiest times of the year. Thousands of flights have been cancelled. Trains are struggling too. America's...
Tonight, tens of thousands of residents are left in the dark for a third straight night.
How did you guys stay warm?
A lot of blankets.
The work of at least one criminal vandal, officials say, who intentionally targeted the county's electrical system.
What happened here Saturday night was a criminal attack.
The FBI says it's investigating willful damage after officials say at least one gunman broke through gates, accessing two Duke Energy substations and started shooting. Enough damage to knock out power to more than 45,000 customers, the majority of them still in the dark.
This was not no random act. This was something targeted. The folks that had done this knew exactly what they were doing. So, and that's scary.
Tonight, the county is under a state of emergency with mandatory curfew at 9 p.m. Schools closed. One of the area's main hospitals forced to operate on a backup generator. Businesses, roads, and busy intersections all in the dark. How dangerous is this situation?
It's very dangerous. We've had several accidents involved already due to power outages. We had some shots fired. We had robbery attempts.
Duke Energy wouldn't tail city measures around the substations, but says they do meet industry requirements. Are these energy stations secure enough?
You know, we have robust security measures and requirements as an electric utility. We're regulated. So we do look for that process, things that we can do, and we'll take learnings from this.
As temperatures dip into the low 40s, for many, this grocery store, one of the few with power, is the only refuge.
It's cold, and I come over here a couple of times a day to get some hot food.
Just to get warm?
Yeah.
We have no heat. We have no cooking facilities. We have none of that.
How are you getting by?
Barely.
So, Blaine, what are investigators saying about a possible motive in this attack?
Well, Lester, so far they say there is no motive and no suspects, but they say they're not ruling anything out, including a...
At least 38 people have died in weather-related incidents, and around 175,000 homes are still without power. Our North America correspondent Nomia Iqbal reports.
A very white Christmas has turned more into a deep freeze. The city of Buffalo in New York State is used to tough weather conditions, but this storm has left it paralyzed. Many don't even have any power to cook their Christmas lunch.
I'm really glad that I have a fireplace because otherwise I'd be freezing right now.
Driving is banned as the blizzard conditions leave roads impassable, power substations frozen, and at least 7 people dead.
We are in a war. This is a war with Mother Nature. And she has been hitting us with everything she has since the late hours of Thursday into Friday, Saturday. And this will go down in history as the most devastating storm in Buffalo's long storied history of having battled many battles, many major storms.
In the Midwest, 4 people were killed earlier in the week in a pileup in Ohio. 4 others died in crashes in Missouri and Kansas.
The nation's capital has avoided much of the worst weather, but the bomb cyclone has left its mark. Hundreds of water pipes are frozen, temperatures continue to drop, and many of the city's homeless people have been given emergency shelter. The storm is continuing to barrel up along the east coast here and across much of the US, and the advice remains to avoid travelling unless it's essential.
And it's not just the snow and ice causing mayhem. High winds have brought high tides and flooding on the eastern seaboard. Forecasters say the storm will ease off in the next few days, but freezing temperatures are likely to linger for some time. Nomi Iqbal, BBC News, Washington.
Well, the severe winter weather
plunged into darkness. No light, no water, and no heating. A scenario Germany's Cities and Communities Association warns could soon become reality.
Da haben wir regionale oder auch
We face possible regional or nationwide blackouts. An electricity cut can be worse than a pandemic. You can't shop, there's no water, you can't fill up, draw money, or charge your phone. Depending how long it takes, it can get worse.
Trying to brace for one energy crisis, Germans could actually cause another by overloading the power grid, as many have been switching to electric heaters. Sales have shot up by more than a third to 650,000 this year, amid fears of gas shortages this winter. The heightened alert comes as Russia halted gas supply through the key Nord Stream pipeline. For those who want to prepare for the worst, the government has published an emergency checklist. Water, canned food, and just as important, lots of candles. My cart is now full of items that can last me for at least 10 days. But how prepared are Germans, and is all this hoarding really necessary? A recent survey shows that more than half the country fear power cuts, and some cities, including Cologne, are expecting blackouts of more than 72 hours if a severe energy shortage hits. But preparation is another matter.
Ich habe keine Angst vor Stromausfällen.
I am not scared of blackouts. Such announcements are just fear-mongering and lead to panic buying. I think we are well prepared for the winter in regards to security of supply and electricity. Our gas storages are fuller than expected.
I think you should always have a few things at home. Be prepared. That protects you no matter what the situation is, whether it's something planned or something unexpected.
Officials, however, warn the government itself is not fully prepared for such a scenario, and that some of its aid measures are actually backfiring. Price caps to support consumers facing soaring costs could actually reduce incentives to lower consumption. And the colder the coming winter gets, the more critical the situation could become. In France, a 1-degree drop in temperature usually raises power demand by an average 2,400 megawatts, or the output of 2 nuclear reactors. Germany says its energy supply is guaranteed, and that industrial users would go off the grid first in an emergency, sparing households.
Christmas Eve, millions of Americans are still struggling to get to their loved ones. Airlines continue to cancel flights as blizzard conditions, high winds, and bitter cold temperatures make their final pass through the U.S.
It's been canceled, delayed, moved to another flight, going to a different airline. Now I'm just like, will someone please get me there?
Over 15,000 flights were either canceled or delayed on Friday, and cancellations continued into Saturday. Even travelers leaving sunny Los Angeles couldn't get out, because so few planes could make it in from other parts of the country.
I thought I was safe. I'm in California and I'm headed to Hawaii.
As the bomb cyclone moved east, whiteout conditions closed highways and roads. A 50-car pileup led to at least 4 deaths on the Ohio Turnpike.
This is a stark reminder of what can happen when you get behind the wheel and
and try to drive in bad weather conditions.
High winds and Arctic cold air have knocked out power to almost 2 million Americans. Low temperature records are being shattered as far south as Florida and Texas.
It's cold out here today.
Thousands of homes in the Dallas and Houston areas are without heat and electricity as the state's power grid struggles again.
It felt like we were in the freezer. It was really, really cold. You could see our breath when we talked.
Others are getting frozen out on their Christmas celebrations. With so many cancellations and rebookings, flights through Monday are booked solid. Frustrated ticket agents have been unable to help frustrated travelers find alternative flights.
I was in this line for like 2 hours, and I still wasn't able to even make it.
By the summer, we're about to go into a dark winter, and he has no clear plan, and there's no prospect that there's going to be a vaccine available for the